Greetings and salutations, one and all. Welcome to the night shift. It's what some of us know as Boxing Day. Others know it as just the day after Christmas. But I welcome you all to the show. Those tuning on the night shift to DJ Kevin Stew on TuneIn Radio, Radiobox.net, Foundation Radio Network, ClintonLindsay.com, One Harmony Radio across the pond. Top of the morning to you guys over there in the UK. It is Wednesday. Happy Hump Day to you. I hope you guys enjoyed your Christmas day and enjoyed it for what it was, not necessarily for what you wanted it to be. You know what I mean? Good. Kicking it off the way I normally do. Ricardo Drew, second star. It's called Wayward. This segment of the show is brought to you courtesy of Policy Media Group. When being in the moment is priceless, get them a link. When you link them, tell them DJ Kevin Stew sent you. How do you link them? 754-999-6020 or pulseemg.com.
Chop it up, put your hand on the knees, turn around to the wrong and make everyone see. Girl, never and everyone agree. Yeah, so do that thing never me. Girl, my eyes set on you like a target. I want to pull up on you like a magnet. I'm wondering, girl, if you have it, cause I look and I see everybody's girl. So baby girl, roll the bambala, do that thing, girl, roll the bambala. Set us on you in combination, we love the nation. Cause look at woman, look around, look at everybody, having fun, having fun. Working it just like you should. Fire sap when you rub it. There's plenty friction on the wood. We going until the party done. Right with the moon, set with the sun. If you see me falling on the ground, it must be the rum. Tell me how you live it, we gon' live it up. If the thing needs turning, we gon' turn it up. One thing we not giving, we not giving up. We going on. Look at woman, look around.
Before I get too deep into this, I just want to remind you, coming up January 9th, Rhythms of Africa. I still have some tickets to give away. If you can tell me how many workshops Willie Stewart conducts. That's all you gotta do. You have a chance to win adults and children tickets for Rhythms of Africa. 773-789-STEW, 773-78. Wait. 789-7839. Yeah, had a senior moment. Now That's because every now and then I hang out with some seniors. So I get the pass. I can have a senior moment, yeah? So numbers to get in touch, 773-789-STEW, 773-789-7839. Call me, text me. If you're calling about the answer to the if you're calling about the tickets for Rhythms of Africa though, wait until after the show. Preferably tomorrow. Or just shoot me a message or shoot me an email, djkevinstew@gmail.com. How many workshops, as according to the show that we did, we talked about them, how many workshops, don't you have to tell me the workshops, just tell me how many workshops Willie Stewart conducts. Yeah? Cool. And if you missed the show, it's in the archives on kevinstew.com. Scroll down to the archive section, look for the show you want. In this case, it's the one with Willie Stewart, yeah? Nice and easy. Alright, so tonight is one of those nights where I get to get into trouble. But if getting into trouble means that you get to start thinking, then I'm all for it. This morning I was having a conversation with a very good friend of mine. And this is one of those people that I talk to about just about everything under the sun. And I said, tonight I'm going to do a show on what Christmas is, where it comes from, why. And a little later on in the morning, not much longer, not much later, I got a message from the same person. And the message was sharing a post from their cousin. And the post read, "If the God of the Bible never made Christmas a holy day, but it makes you feel good, who is more angry, God or Satan?" And I was like, debate over. Not that I was really debating it, but this is real confirmation. I am going to do this show tonight. So, if you want, you can answer that question, and the chat room is available. So when you go to kevinstew.com, you'll see a section called the Stew Pot. That's where everything gets bubbling. Jump on in, feel free. It's a judgment-free zone. Whether you agree or you disagree, judgment-free zone. Don't worry about it. The important thing is that you share, because you have a voice to do just that. Hashtag happy. Good evening. I'm happy to see you. So, that's the question. Well, that's one of the questions for the night. But that's a question that confirmed this show for tonight. If the God of the Bible never made Christmas a holiday, but it makes you feel good, who is more angry, God or Satan? Now, you may ask the question, wait. What do you mean God didn't make Christmas a holiday? Well, this is where we get into the meat of the matter. So, my question for the show is, why December 25? Christians have this festival celebrating the birth of Jesus, and it's called Christmas. Now, the English term Christmas comes from Mass on Christ's Day. See? Christ's Mass. Christmas. And what the earlier term for the Christmas is Yule, Y-U-L-E. And it may very well have derived from the Germanic Yule, J-O-L-E, G-E-O-L, or the Anglo-Saxon Geol, G-E-O-L, which referred to the feast of the winter solstice. Feast of the winter solstice. Remember that. Now, the corresponding terms in other language would be Navidad in Spanish, Natale in Italian, Noel in French, and they all denote nativity. The German word Weihnachten or Weihnachten denotes hallowed night. And since the early 20th century, Christmas has been a secular family holiday, observed by Christians and non-Christians alike. Is the question that started the show making sense? I know it's early out yet. It's only 13 past the hour. It is also devoid of Christian elements and marked by an increasingly elaborate exchange of gifts. In this secular Christmas celebration, a mythical figure named Santa Claus plays a pivotal role. Now, how Santa Claus comes into the picture, that's something else. Again, if you want to get in touch, 773-789-STEW, 773-789-7839, or jump in the pot, the stew pot, on kevinstew.com. The early Christian community distinguished between the identification of the date of Jesus' birth and the liturgical celebration of that event. The actual observance of the day of Jesus' birth was long in coming. In particular, during the first 2 centuries of Christianity, there was a strong opposition to recognizing birthdays of martyrs, or for that matter, of Jesus. And numerous church fathers offered sarcastic comments about the pagan custom of celebrating birthdays, when in fact saints and martyrs should be honored on days of their martyrdom, which would then be their true birthday from the church's perspective. Now, the precise origin of assigning December 25 as the birth date of Jesus is actually unclear. The New Testament provides no clues in this regard. None. December 25 was first identified as the date of Jesus' birth by Sextus Julius Africanus in 221, and later became the universally accepted date. Now, one widespread explanation of the origin of this date is that December 25 was the Christianizing of the Dies Solis Invicti Nati, the day of the birth of the unconquered sun, S-U-N, which is a popular holiday in the Roman Empire that celebrated the winter solstice as a symbol of the resurgence of the sun, the casting away of the winter, and the heralding of the rebirth of spring and summer. Now, yes, after December 25 had become widely accepted as the date of Jesus' birth, Christian writers frequently made the connection between the rebirth of the sun, S-U-N, and the birth of the Son, S-O-N. And one of the difficulties with this view is that it suggests a nonchalant willingness on the part of the Christian church to appropriate a pagan festival when the early church was so intent on distinguishing itself categorically from the pagan beliefs and practices. Sound familiar? Comment in the pot. When church officials settled on December 25 at the end of the 3rd century, they likely wanted the date to coincide with existing pagan festivals honoring the Saturn, the Roman god of agriculture, and Mithra, the Persian god of light. That way, it became easier to convince Rome's pagan subjects to accept Christianity as the empire's official religion. See, this is why I love when people participate. I did not know that. Thank you very much. A second view suggests that December 25 became the date of Jesus' birth by a priori reasoning that identified the spring equinox as a date of the creation of the world and the 4th day of creation when the light was created, and the day of Jesus' conception, that is March 25. Now, December 25, 9 months later, then became the date of Jesus' birth. And for a long time, the celebration of Jesus' birth was observed in conjunction with his baptism, celebrated January 6th. Y'all with me so far? Alright, cool. Now, Christmas began to be widely celebrated with a specific liturgy in the 9th century, but did not attain the liturgical importance of either Good Friday or Easter, the other two major Christian holidays. Roman Catholic churches celebrate the first Christmas Mass at midnight, and Protestant churches have increasingly held Christmas candlelight services late on the evening of December 24. A special service of lessons and carols intertwines Christmas carols with the scripture readings narrating salvation history from the fall in the Garden of Eden to the coming of Christ. The service, inaugurated by E.W. Benson and adopted at the University of Cambridge, has become widely popular. Hence, a lot of the carol services taking on that format. Now, none of the contemporary Christmas customs have their origin in theological or liturgical affirmations, and most are of fairly recent date. Fairly recent. 3rd century? Yeah. Date-wise, I guess. But the Renaissance humanist Sebastian Brandt recorded in Das Narrenschiff in 1494, The Ship of Fools, the custom of placing branches of fir trees in houses. Even though there is some uncertainty about the precise date and origin of the tradition of the Christmas tree, it appears that fir trees decorated with apples were first known in Strasbourg in 1605. The first use of candles on such trees is recorded by Silesian Duchess in 1611. The use of the Advent wreath made of fir branches with 4 candles denoting the 4 Sundays of the Advent season is a more recent is of even more recent origin. So that's pretty young, especially in North America. Now the custom, I'm gonna address that in just a minute. The custom, which began in the 19th century but had roots in the 16th, originally involved a fir wreath with 24 candles, the 24 days before Christmas, starting December 1. But the awkwardness of having so many candles on the wreath reduced the number to 4. An analogous, analogous. That's one of those words that really tie up your tongue. Custom is the Advent calendar, which provides 24 openings, one to be opened each day beginning December 1, according to tradition. The calendar was created in the 19th century by a Munich housewife who was tired of having to answer endlessly when Christmas would come. See? Mother of invention, necessity. The first commercial calendars were printed in Germany in 1851. The intense preparation for Christmas that is part of the commercialization of the holiday has blurred the traditional liturgical distinction between Advent and the Christmas season, as can be seen by the placement of Christmas trees in sanctuaries well before December 25. Oh, I thought that was another poster. I'm sorry. Marlon, welcome to the show, brethren. Your show was missed tonight, but glad you'll be back on Monday. Now, toward the end of the 18th century, the practice of giving gifts to family members became well established. So this is what, around about 200-300 years ago. Theologically, the feast day reminded Christians of God's gift of Jesus to humankind, even as the coming of the wise men or magi to Bethlehem, as it suggested that Christmas was somehow related to giving gifts. The practice of giving gifts, which goes back to the 15th century, contributed to the view that Christmas was a secular holiday focused on family and friends. And this was one reason why Puritans in Old and New England opposed the celebration of Christmas, and in both England and America succeeded in banning its observance. Did you know that? The tradition of celebrating Christmas as a secular family holiday is splendidly illustrated by a number of English Christmas carols, such as Here We Come, Our Sailing, or Deck the Halls. It can also be seen in the practice of sending Christmas cards, which actually began in England in the 19th century. So it's still a fairly new practice. In countries such as Austria and Germany, the connection between the Christian festival and the family holiday is made by identifying the Christ child as a giver of gifts to the family. In some European countries, Saint Nicholas appears on his feast day, December 6, bringing modest gifts of candy and other gifts to children. In North America, the pre-Christmas role of the Christian Saint Nicholas was transformed under the influence of the poem A Visit from Saint Nicholas, or 'Twas the Night Before Christmas. Yes, I did say 'twas. And this influence of the poem into the increasingly central role of Santa Claus as the source of Christmas gifts for the family. So you see how that all gets mixed in now? Now, while both name and attire, a version of the traditional dress of Bishop of Santa Claus, reveal his Christian roots, and his role of querying children about their past behavior replicates that of Saint Nicholas, He is seen as a secular figure. In Australia, where people attend open-air concerts of Christmas carols and have their Christmas dinner on the beach, Santa Claus wears red swimming trunks as well as a white beard. Because that's summertime in Australia, right? It's kind of twisted over there. That's how it goes down under. I think that's a wrong accent, but don't sue me for it. 27 minutes after the hour. Do I continue with this and then take a break later? Yeah, let me just finish this up and then take a break. In most European countries, gifts are exchanged on Christmas Eve, which is December 24. In keeping with the notion that the baby Jesus was born on the night of the 24th. The morning of December 25, however, has become the time for the gift exchange in North America. In 17th and 18th century Europe, the modest exchange of gifts took place in the early hours of the 25th, when the family returned home from the Christmas Mass, which would be the midnight Mass. When the evening of the 24th became the time for exchange of gifts, the Christmas Mass was set into the late afternoon of that day. See, so you still have Mass before the exchange of the gifts. In North America, the centrality of the morning of the 25th of December as a time of the family to open presents has led, with the exception of Catholic and some Lutheran and Episcopal churches, have led to the virtual end of holding church services on that day, and which is a striking illustration of the way societal customs influence liturgical practices. So, whereas there was a time when church would influence society, it has somehow kind of flipped, and society started influencing church. Now, given the importance of Christmas as one of the major Christian feast days, most European countries observe, under Christian influence, December 26 as a second Christmas holiday. The practice recalls the ancient Christian liturgical notion that the celebration of Christmas, as well as that of Easter and of Pentecost, should last the entire week. The week-long observance, however, was successively reduced to Christmas Day and a single additional day on December 26. But of course, not everybody celebrates December 26. And some of us know it as Boxing Day, which leads to a different history lesson. So, if you're just tuning in and you didn't hear the question that sealed the deal for this show being about what it is about, I'll ask the question again. If the God of the Bible never made Christmas a holy day, but it makes you feel good, who is more angry, God or Satan? We're going to take a quick little break. When we come back, we talk some more. Call a friend, tell a friend. It's a night shift to DJ Kevin Stew. Me. It's Real Talk Wednesday. And tonight our question is simply this. Why December 25? We'll be right back.
Pulse Media Group, innovative streaming and recording, has done it again. A new way to get your business in full view of your neighborhood consumer through AdShare TV. It's available in your neighborhood today. It's easy. Just call us 754-999-6020. Become a host today and place a TV monitor in a strategic location so it's easy to see. Get a 1-minute video ad or longer that plays anywhere in our network. Can't be a host? No problem. For a few dollars, we'll run your 30-second video ad. A host can run announcement specials like buy one get one free or discount ads. Let's turn your flyers into a 30-second video with music or a voiceover, or let us create and run your video ad with a spokesperson. Take advantage of our early enrollment discount. Join us today. Your ad will be seen at least 30 times per day in your AdShare TV neighborhood. It's easy. Just call us 754-999-6020. AdShare TV, part of Pulse Media Group.
Are you crazy about the music industry? You aspire to hit it big in music? Or maybe you've sweated out a soulful killer beat and are now stuck finding it's not as easy as it looked. Oh, but it can be easy for you with JTMC. We've been there, we know how it feels, so we solve challenges like production, promotion, marketing, branding and development, and more. With over 30 years of experience, JTMC is a one-stop shop for artists. We handle your graphic design, writing services, PR, as well as event planning, e-blasts, artist management, and bookings, so also your website and social media needs as well. We're experts in using creativity to persuade audiences on behalf of artists, drawing on our diverse experience to create projects that connect with audiences intellectually and emotionally. Artist success is everything to us, and our years of experience and commitment will be behind you for every one of your needs. If you've got music for the world to hear, whether you're a new or established artist, visit us at jtmcenterprise.com.
Roll out with Island Rock Music and have fun. Check out the quality apparel at islandrockmusic.com. Designed for you and your crew. Hear the music, feel the breeze, with selected tracks and more. Available now from the online store at islandrockmusic.com. islandrockmusic.com. Log on today and ride with us.
Stepping, this a roots vibration. Stepping.
Matthew 28:19 says, "Go ye therefore and teach all nations." With this in mind, and encouragement received during a South Florida media conference, The Church Links was birthed. The Church Links is an interdenominational worship service portal for churches, providing the tools to spread the word through technology in a cost-effective way. The Church Links, www.dahchurchlinx.com. Your links to worship and praise. When being in the moment is priceless, consider the ability to share that moment. If you can video it, you can broadcast it. And Pulse E-Media Group has the tools you need. Weddings, birthdays, funerals, graduations, church services, parties, seminars, you name it. Pulse E-Media Group can provide you with a secure medium controlled by you to broadcast your event. Contact us at www.pulsemediagroup.com for more information. Pulse E-Media Group, when being in the moment is priceless.
It's Christine representing for DJ Kevin. You see me, I say, I don't know the boss. You see me, I say, DJ Kevin's Chew and the night shift radio show. Yo, it at the thing, turn up the thing loud. Whoa, DJ Kevin's Chew have the heart of a champion. Never underestimate, just choose him. The silver line behind the dark clouds. DJ Kevin's Chew, believe him, and that's no doubt. Salute the night shift radio show, Christine. It's a heart it up, loud. Kill a beast.
The clock is kicking while the days slip away. Time is always moving, so you'd better not wait. Every day is precious, I don't wanna be late. When there's love to brighten up our lives, can we keep it real, cause I don't wanna pretend. I've been thinking about us being more than just friends. You don't wanna wake up all alone and regret, and find the chance for us to pass you by. Bless me with your smile. Bless me with that look of love, I see it in your eyes. Girl, don't test me, cause I won't compromise. Just do me right and I'll be there today. To bless you with my time. Bless you with my heart and all the stuff I have inside. Let me take you where happiness abides, and let me chase our troubles all away. Bless me. Of advice, listening to your girlfriends, well, that may not be wise. They know nothing about me and they're telling you lies, saying you'll find better any day. I ain't got tattoos and I don't drive fancy cars. Keep it down to earth, ain't got my head in the stars. You'll search far and wide, but you'll find no bigger heart than the one in front of you today. Bless me with your smile. Bless me with that look of love, I see it in your eyes. Girl, don't test me, cause I won't compromise. Just do me right and I'll be there today. To bless you with my time. Bless you with my heart and all the stuff I have inside. Let me take you where everything's alright, and let them chase our troubles all away. Bless me, baby. Frontin' girl, hey, cause I know something, girl, that we all want love. Yeah, we all need love. So get your head out of the way and let your heart have its day this time. Cause love, it ain't no crime. Bless me with your smile. Bless me with that look of love, I see it in your eyes. You don't test me, cause I won't compromise. Just do me right and
I want to welcome you back to the show. If you're just tuning in, welcome. Glad you could join us. This segment of the show is brought to you courtesy of GMAT Music Solutions. You can get them a call, 754-307-GMAC. And tell them I sent you. If you can't call them, visit the website, gmatmusicsolutions.com. Just remember, when you link them, call my name. The sound of Tenor Blue, a track called Bless Me. And there are some people that are thinking, you know, Stu, you're going to have to make special requests for blessings tonight after you do this show talking about Christmas the way you're talking about it. But guess what? I'm pretty sure a number of other people have asked this question. And out of that number, there is, and this is going to sound like I'm algebra in just a minute, there is Y that have not done anything but ask the question. And X have asked the question and went on to find out why. No, not why, but why. So, what do you solve for at this point? X or Y? I don't know. But as it relates to the date of Christmas, no one knows the real birthday of Jesus. That's the first remarkable thing to note. And yes, I did use air quotes when I said remarkable. no date is given in the Bible, or the version of the Bible that we use anyway. So why do we celebrate the 25th of December? Simple enough question, right? The early Christians had many arguments as to when it should be celebrated. And the birth of Jesus probably didn't happen in the year 1, but a little bit earlier, somewhere between 2 BC and 7 BC. And the possibility exists that it's about 4 BC. And a point to note is there isn't a zero, a year 0. It goes from 1 BC to 1. No year 0. The first recorded date of Christmas being celebrated on December 25 was in 336, during the time of the Roman Emperor Constantine. And he was the first Christian Roman emperor. A few years later, Pope Julius I officially declared that the birth of Jesus would be celebrated on December 25. So he declared that is the day it would be celebrated. He didn't say that is the day that Jesus was born. Now, there are many different traditions and theories as to why Christmas is celebrated on December 25. A very early Christian tradition said that the day when Mary was told she would have a very special baby, which is known as the Annunciation, was March 25. And it is still celebrated today on March 25. 9 months after that is December 25. You do the math. March 25 was also the day some early Christians thought the world would have been made, and also the day that Jesus died, when he was an adult, that is. So the date of March 25 was chosen because people had calculated that was the day on which Jesus died, the 14th of Nisan in the Jewish calendar. And they thought that Jesus was born and had died on the same day of the year. Interesting, isn't it? Well, sometimes we hear of people dying on their birth date. But this is what some scholars actually theorize. Now, some people also think that December 25 might have also been chosen because the winter solstice of the ancient pagan Roman midwinter festivals called Saturnalina and Dies Natalis Solis Invicti took place in December, around this date. I mentioned that before. So it was a time when people already were celebrating things. And hey, why reinvent the wheel? Celebration's happening already. Let's go ahead and just pair up something with that and just call it George. The winter solstice is a day where the shortest time between the sun rising and the sun setting. It happens on December 21st or December 22nd, somewhere around there. To pagans, this meant the winter was over and spring was coming. And they had a festival to celebrate it and worship the sun for winning over the darkness of winter. In Scandinavia and some other parts of northern Europe, the winter solstice is also known as Yule, as it is where you get Yule logs. And in Eastern Europe, midwinter festival is called Collidia. Koleda, Koleda. Now, the Roman festival of Saturnalia took place between December 17 and December 23 and honored the Roman god Saturn. This was mentioned in the chat earlier. Dies Natalis Solis Invicta, I mean birthday of the unconquered sun, which was held on December 25, when Romans thought the winter solstice actually took place. This was also the birthday of the pagan sun god Mithra. In the pagan religion of Mithraism, the holy day was Sunday, and is where the word Sunday comes from. The sun god, Mithra. That's connecting? Are you having the aha moment yet? Or the, oh, now I see. Yeah, that moment. That's interesting. That moment. The Roman Emperor, Aurelian. Something about saying and re. That really twists the tongue. Aurelian created Solis Invictus in 274. But there are records of early Christians connecting 14th Nisan to 25th of March. And so the 25th of December go back to around 200. That's the year, 200. The Jewish Festival of Lights, Hanukkah, that starts on the 25th of Kislev, the month in the Jewish calendar that occurs about the same time as December. Stay with me. Hanukkah celebrates when the Jewish people were able to rededicate and worship in their temple in Jerusalem following many years of not being allowed to practice their religion. Jesus was a Jew. So this could be another reason that helped the early church choose December 25th for the date of Christmas. Hanukkah. Christmas also celebrated in the early church on January 6th. Never heard that one before? Well, they also celebrated the Epiphany, which means the revelation that Jesus was God's Son. And the baptism of the Jews. The baptism of Jesus. Now, Epiphany mainly celebrates the visit of the wise men to the baby Jesus. But back then it celebrated both things. Jesus' baptism was originally seen as more important than his birth, because this was when he started his ministry. But soon people wanted to separate the day that his birth was celebrated. Was the Hanukkah event post-Jesus? That's a good question. Let's see. For years, the Jews were not allowed to worship. That's a good question, Happy. That's a very good question. I don't know. Can somebody look that up, please? Was Hanukkah post-Jesus? Most of the world use the Georgian calendar, and this was implemented by Pope Gregory XIII in 1582. Before that, before the Georgian calendar, there was the Roman or the Julian calendar, which was named after Julius Caesar. The Georgian calendar is more accurate than the Roman calendar, which actually had too many days in a year. How they knew it was too many days, I'm not too sure. But when the switch was made, 10 days were lost. So that the day that followed, the 4th of October in 1582, what would have been the 5th was now the 15th. In the UK, the change of the calendars was made in 1752. And the day after the 2nd of September was the 14th of September. So you're saying that Hanukkah was post-Jesus, or else it would have been listed in the Bible. But there are things that happened post-Jesus that are in the Bible, but Hanukkah isn't. So now we have to ask that question. Is the Bible a true historical reference book? Things that make you go, No. I don't want you to start losing it and say Stu is blaspheming or anything like that. What I am saying is, questions were made to be asked. Ask the questions. Get your answers. Because apparently, like what one of the buzz phrases is, no, not all truth is the truth. What is your truth? Because I guess everybody can have a truth these days. Now, many Orthodox and Coptic churches actually still use the Julian calendar. And so celebrate Christmas on the 7th of January, which is when December 25 would have been on the Julian calendar. And the American Apostolic Church celebrated on the 6th of January. In some parts of the UK, January 6th is still called Old Christmas, as this would have been the day that Christmas would have been celebrated. If the calendar had not been changed, January 6th would be Christmas Day. Some people didn't want to use the new calendar as they thought it cheated them out of 11 days. So, did they add more hours to the day in order to cut out 10 days? Thank you, Happy. So, okay. All right, Happy. I got you. Thank you. But, yeah. But that's not blasphemy, though. #happy. I don't see it as blasphemy. Again, if you have questions to ask and you don't ask them, what are you? Who are you? Who benefits? Christians believe that Jesus is the light of the world. So the early Christians thought that it would be the right time to celebrate the birth of Jesus. They also took over some of the customs of the winter solstice and gave them Christian meanings, like holly, mistletoe, and even what we know and love, Christmas carols. Oh, and do I need to repeat that? Or did you get it? I hope everybody got it. 773-789-STEW. 773-789-7839 is the number to get you in touch. Now, St. Augustine of Canterbury was the person who probably started the widespread celebration of Christmas in large parts of England by introducing Christianity to the regions run by the Anglo-Saxons in the 6th century. And other Celtic parts of Britain were already Christian, but there are not many documents about if or how they celebrated the birth of Jesus. St. Augustine of Canterbury was sent by Pope Gregory the Great in Rome, and that church used the Roman calendar. So Western countries celebrate Christmas on the 25th of December. Then people from Britain and Western Europe took Christmas on the 25th of December, and it spread all over the world. Because, clearly, they're influential. So, question now becomes, when was Jesus born? And I think that's a pretty good question to ask. Welcome 526, glad you could join us. But before I get into answering that question, we're going to take another quick little break. And give you an opportunity to think about it a little bit. Some of you might decide to be quick and go look it up. That's fine. I'm still going to talk about it. When was Jesus born? It's real talk. And the question of the night is, why December 25? We'll be back after these few messages. Yeah, at the top of the hour, we're just doing a few messages. So we'll be right back, and we're going to talk some more. Matthew 28:19 says, "Go ye therefore and teach all nations." With this in mind, and encouragement received during a South Florida media conference, The Church Links was birthed. The Church Links is an interdenominational worship service portal for churches, providing the tools to spread the word through technology in a cost-effective way. The Church Links, www.dahchurchlinx.com, your links to worship and praise.
JTMZ Music presents the highly anticipated, much talked about, The Juggling Rhythm Volume 1. This classic rhythm takes on a new life with tracks from both established artists and introduces some incredible new voices. Get your dancing shoes ready with The Juggling Rhythm, featuring international reggae dancehall artist Mr. Vegas, alongside Ian Sweetness, Ed Robinson, Jack Radix, Hezron, Dangling, Joanna Marie featuring Galaxy B, Denny Ranks featuring Jawiz, Ambalik, Christine Alicia, Yishka. Also the new sensations on the rhythm: Zeal, Danger Lee, Marquis Skelenar, Zachary. Available on all digital media outlets. The Juggling Rhythm. Get it, get it, get it.
When being in the moment is priceless, consider the ability to share that moment. If you can video it, you can broadcast it. And Pulse E-Media Group has the tools you need. Weddings, birthdays, funerals, graduations, church services, parties, seminars, you name it. Pulse E-Media Group can provide you with a secure medium controlled by you to broadcast your event. Contact us at www.pulsemediagroup.com for more information. Pulse E-Media Group, when being in the moment is priceless.
Silence no work no more. Where are the leaders that guided us before? Yo, this is Christina. Listen, I want to big up DJ Kevin Stew. Yo, always playing the best. So make sure you tune in. Make sure you always stay current with DJ Kevin Stew. Enough love. Freedom fighters. Where are the freedom fighters?
Word. Soul. We are the change people.
Silence no word no more. Where are the leaders that guided us before? Who is going to open the door? Without them it seems like our future is not secure. Evil wins when good men sit still. Action is what we need, yeah. Rise up again. Live by the teachings of today. Can't find a way Malcolm X teaching gone to waste. That's the price we pay when we island every day. We need to set a better way for the youth. Wisdom is knowledge and knowledge is true wealth. Start help the youth and stop thinking about yourself. Evil wins when the righteous stand still. Action is what we need. Rise, freedom fighters. Where are the freedom fighters? Moral leaders. Where have you all gone? Need some heroes. Where are all our heroes? Freedom fighters. Where have you all gone? Silence no word no more. Where are the leaders that guided us before? Who is going to open the door? Without them it seems like our future is not secure. Evil wins when good men sit still. Action is what we need. Rise up again. Freedom fighters. Where are the freedom fighters?
The sound of Christina Alicia.
Moral leaders.
A track called Freedom Fighters.
Heroes. Where are all our heroes?
This segment is brought to you courtesy of JTMC Enterprises. Thank you, John Marie and crew. Taking care of your bookings, your tour management, promotions, event management, social media, and so much more. Big things coming up with the JTMC brand on it or attached in 2019, so you definitely want to look out for that. Reggae Meet Soul this year. Whoa. I should say Reggae Meet Soul 2019.
Freedom fighters.
Courtesy of LTK 20.
Where are my leaders?
It's going to be a blast.
Like Marcus Garvey
Still giving away tickets for Rhythms of Africa.
and Gandhi.
If you can tell me how many workshops Willie Stewart conducts.
We need man
Where are you freedom fighters?
Ronnie Lakshmi.
How do you get in touch with JTMC? Well, JTMC Enterprise LLC at gmail.com. Or you can visit the website jtmcenterprise.com. Or you can give them a call 678-793-8800. 678-793-8800. Easy, drummy, easy. Had to get in just a little bit more, right? Oh, boy, these drummers, boy. So before I went on the break, I want to welcome you back to the show, by the way. Thank you for sticking around. Thank you for bringing some friends on in. 773-789-STEW gets you in touch by way of text or phone call. You want to call? Again, judgment-free zone. You can call. You can share your views, your opinions. But 773-789-STEW gets you in touch. You can call. You can text too. But I do encourage you, if you have something to say by way of text, to jump into the pot. kevinstew.com. Scroll down, look for the stew pot. Leave your comment there. You don't have to change your name from your guest. You could be anonymous and just make your statement. That's fine. Again, judgment-free zone. The whole idea is for us to interact. So, we asked a question before the break. When was Jesus born? And there's a strong and practical reason why Jesus might not have been born in the winter. Yes, the winter. But it's very possible that he was born in the spring or even in the autumn, because it can get very cold in the winter. And it's unlikely that shepherds would be keeping sheep on the hills during this cold time, because those particular hills actually got snow sometimes, and a lot of it. Now during the spring, March, April, thereabouts, there's a Jewish festival called Passover. This festival remembers when the Jews had escaped from slavery in Egypt around about 1500 years before Jesus was born. Lots of lamb would have been needed during the Passover festival. Why were they needed? Well, sacrifice. Jews from all over the Roman Empire traveled to Jerusalem for the Passover festival. So it would have been a good time for the Romans to take census. Mary and Joseph went to Bethlehem for the census. Now Bethlehem is about 6 miles from Jerusalem. In the autumn, September, October months, around about there, you have the Jewish festival of Sukkot, the Feast of Tabernacles. In the festival that's mentioned the most times in the Bible is Sukkot. Did you know that? It is when Jewish people remember that they depended on God for all they had after they escaped from Egypt and spent 40 years in the desert. It also celebrates the end of the harvest. And during the festival, Jews live outside in temporary shelters. The word tabernacle comes from the Latin word meaning booth or hut. Now, a friend of mine often asks the question, so if God provided everything for the Jews, why were they hungry? I know some people just decided that, listen, they're about giving up. No. Don't give up. Ask more questions. Do more research. Read a little bit more. Don't give up. Many people who have studied the Bible think that Sukkot would be a likely time for the birth of Jesus, as it very well might fit with the description of there being no room in the inn. It also would have been a good time to take Roman census, as there were a lot of Jews that went to Jerusalem for the festival, and they would have brought their own tents with them. So it would have been practical for Joseph and Mary to carry their own shelter as Mary was pregnant. The possibilities for the Star of Bethlehem seems to point either spring or autumn. The possible dates of Jesus' birth can also be taken from when Zachariah, who was married to Mary's cousin Elizabeth, was on duty in the Jewish temple as a priest and had an amazing experience. Now, with those dates in mind, you get Jesus being born in September, which also fits with Sukkot. So there are some other things that are happening round about the time of Jesus' birth that don't point to December 25th. The year that Jesus was born is not known. The calendar system that we have now, created in the 6th century by a monk called Dionysius Exiguus. He was actually trying to create a better system for working out when Easter should be celebrated, based on the new calendar with the birth of Jesus being year 1. However, he made a mistake in the math, and got the possible years of Jesus' birth wrong. Yeah, you heard me right. He got it wrong. So here's a question in the chat. If Mary and Joseph were traveling for the Sukkot, then why didn't they have their shelter? Why would they have been so unprepared while she was heavy with child? That thought had crossed my mind. Why did they have to go look room in the inn? Why did they have to go into a manger to have the baby? Into a barn? So, with that said, it kind of points more towards Passover than it does to Sukkot. But again, we don't really know. Now, most scholars now think that Jesus was born between 2 BC and 7 BC, which is before Dionysius had his new calendars. And years were normally dated from the regions of from the reigns of Roman emperors. The new calendar became more widely used from the 8th century, when the Venerable Bede of Northumbria used it in his new history book. Again, there's no year zero. Bede started dating things before the year 1 and used BC 1 BC as the first year before year 1. At that time, in Europe, the number 0 did not exist in math. It only arrived in Europe in the 11th to 13th centuries. So a little bit of history relating to math for you. 0 wasn't around before the 11th century. So whenever you celebrate Christmas, remember that you're celebrating a real event. Right? Based on the information that we have. And this event happened some 2,000 years ago. God sent his son into the world as a Christmas present for everyone. As well as Christmas and the solstice, there are some other festivals that are held in late December. Remember Hanukkah, celebrated by the Jews, and Kwanzaa, celebrated by some Africans and African Americans. And this happens from December 26th round about to January 1. So at this point, what do you end up with? Do you end up with more answers than questions? Or do you have more questions than answers? And it's fine to have either. One thing I do want you to have, though, is questions. Like the question that Happy asked. If Mary and Joseph were traveling for the Sukkot, then they should have shelter. However, if they were traveling for the Passover, they wouldn't necessarily think of having shelter as much. Because it is in Sukkot that everybody walk with their little tents and they set up shop. It's kind of like going to reggae sunsplash. People walk with a reggae tent and a reggae bed. That's Sukkot. And again, Sukkot is mentioned more times in the Bible than Passover is. It is apparently the most mentioned festival in the Bible. And with all this, if the Bible is an accurate source of history, it's an incomplete, inaccurate source of history. But if it is to be used as a guide, from a guide to which, or to how we should live our lives and how we should relate to one another, then I guess dates are not that important. But everything else is. So, when do you think Jesus was born? Based on the information given. And again, I have to ask the question. If the God of the Bible never made Christmas a holy day, but it makes you feel good, who is more angry, God or Satan? I can tell you some of the views that I got when I asked some people this question earlier today. Some said, Satan is more angry because you're doing something good. It is something that glorifies God, so it can't be bad. But some say God, because that wasn't a day that God gave. Man just decided that they're going to choose that day and run with it. So, because God didn't give the day, God didn't make it holy, then God is upset that you're worshipping a day that He didn't give. You create your own day. So, what say you though? You can post it in the chat. You can answer the question in the pot. Who is more angry, God or Satan? Because Christmas was not a day ordained by God. And it makes you feel good to celebrate it. Who?
Story College Production.
Hey, my girl, they're not easy. Sure. You can't trust them all the time. Girl, you look so guilty.
20 minutes after the hour.
Look so guilty. Girl, you look so guilty.
This is the sound of Korik.
So
it's called Guilty Eyes.
My eyes look so guilty when you say that you love me. Why your eyes move so shifty every time you talk to me? I can't trust you, girl, you're tricky, and you always need money. When you come around, you don't stay. You collect, then you step in a hurry. Check it. You never call me up to ask me if I'm okay. Don't even care to find out if I'm feeling lonely. You only show up when we get paid. But when my broke, it's like you loved up on a holiday. But now I'm wise up, I'm looking straight through you like an x-ray. Eyes don't lie, well I saw them say. And your eyes been giving you away. I'm thinking that I need to keep you at bay. Why your eyes look so guilty when you say that you love me? Why your eyes move so shifty every time you talk to me? I can't trust you, girl, you're tricky, and you always need money. When you come around, you don't stay. You collect, then you step in a hurry. You make me
Alright, Happy, that's a very good question. If Christianity branched off from Judaism, why don't Christians celebrate the Jewish holidays? And according to scholars, the Jewish festivals pointed to the Christ. But the Jews also believed that Christ as we know him was not the Christ. So they're still waiting on Christ to come. That's one part of it. But the other part of it is, which religion do you then believe? Because Christianity is not the oldest religion. And as you so rightly put, Happy, Christianity branched off from Judaism. So the child now becomes the parent because everybody decided that Christianity is the way to go. How does it all work out?
College Production.
Them your girl, you know.
And I wish somebody could answer that question for us.
Can't trust them, man.
Why don't Christians celebrate Jewish holidays?
Guilty, man, you look so guilty. Girl, you look so guilty.
Is it because Christians follow Christ and the Jews believe that Christ is not the Christ?
You say that you love me, why your eyes move so shifty? Every time you talk to me, I can't trust you, girl, you tricky. And you always need money. When you come around, you don't stay.
Thank you for that question, Happy.
In a hurry. Check it. You never call me up to ask me if I'm okay. Don't even care to find out if I'm feeling lonely. You only show up when me get paid. But when me broke, it's like you loved up on a holiday. But now me wise up, I'm looking straight through you like an x-ray. Eyes don't lie, well I saw them say. And your eyes been giving you away. I'm thinking that I need to keep you at bay. Why your eyes look so guilty when you say that you love me? Why your eyes move so shifty every time you talk to me? I can't trust you, girl, you tricky. And you always need money. When you come around, you don't stay. You collect and you step in a hurry. You make me wonder why me and you there. You call me on the phone and don't have nothing for say. Except me need this, me want that, where the money there. It's like you take man for idiot. It better me step well if you. When I go fling it up again, me no want to stress you. But baby, why you talk to me again? Unless you're telling me you're leaving for good, you're not returning. Thank you for the lessons I've been learning. Why your eyes look so guilty when you say that you love me? Why your eyes move so shifty every time you talk to me? I can't trust you, girl, you tricky. And you always need money. When you come around, you don't stay. You collect and you step in a hurry. Listen, something kind of funny about the things you say. It's never black, it's never white, it's always shades of gray. While I keep giving and giving, support your fancy living. What was I thinking? Sure, I must be tripping. You missed the program, so me move on, baby. I know you're free to get your groove on, baby. You can stay out all night and party as you like, and find yourself another fool to put your moves on, baby. Why your eyes look so guilty when you say that you love me? Why your eyes move so shifty every time you talk to me? I can't trust you, girl, you tricky. And you always need money. When you come around, you don't stay. You collect and you step in a hurry. Why your eyes look so guilty when you say that you love me? Why your eyes move so shifty every time you talk to me? I can't trust you, girl, you tricky. And you always need money. When you come around, you don't stay. You collect and you step in a hurry. Strong, mommy you strong. Told out for so long. No my girl and no life. It ain't easy to hold on. Hold on. It ain't easy to hold on. Hold on. Hold on. It ain't easy to hold on. Hold on. My bills high like all the hillside. Life hard but me still try. I know me see the ghetto youths, them live it bring tears to my eye. One time me still cry. Imagine, me get the money for the shopping because of a grabbing. Nothing I will be having, robbing. But she still find food for the offspring, medicine for the coffin. Daddy you strong, mommy you strong. Told out for so long. No my girl and no life. It ain't easy to hold on.
So how about this?
Easy to hold on, hold on, hold on. It ain't easy to hold on, hold on. System make enough man mad. Yeah, search and search can't get no job. No.
Happy says
men left we for rap, then them send
Christians follow Jesus, whom they call Christ, Messiah.
No smarter than the Most High. So when
in Judaism, there was more than one Messiah.
everything in the Most High.
David was also considered a Messiah. He delivered Israel from her enemies. Moses was also considered a Messiah. He led the Israelites from Egypt, the oppressor. The Messiah is a deliverer, and the Jews were waiting to get their freedom from the Roman Empire. So now they seek a Messiah to return their land from the Palestinians.
Hold on, it ain't easy to hold on. Hold on, hold
That
on, it ain't easy to hold on.
is a super interesting concept.
Jamil, Kwanzaa.
The sound of Jamil, a track called Hold On. Better hold on to something. If not, you'll be weak and fall for just about anything. As a lineage, Bird's Eye, Mr. Sonova.
Let me tell you where I'm from. Some call it ghetto, some call it slum.
It's called In the Ghetto.
Even like no food when I come. Let me tell you where I'm from. The days them shots and the night them long. Soupy and it's for the next pong pong. They gon' make him $1 take off his son. See and blind here and there. I deep cold and I dig ghetto. Rock no shot, touch no you. You are believe from the ghetto. Juvenile on the street, hanging out in the ghetto. At nightfall, them a feel let go. Bear shot that echo. Down in the ghetto where me born and grow. Never do the folly good seeds I sow. Nothing with him cat, just a push and go through. Summertime are the nicest on the avenue. Big up all ghetto people. We are clean and we not study evil. We intelligent, eloquent and able. Proud of my place, not afraid to tell you. Here pan and knock, that's the sound of a gun. Every prick no dress when holiday come. Mama never rich, still never bow down. Satisfy ourselves when our money soon run. No ghetto youth fly out and gone overseas. Them hunting for the money, mama need some place. Make a flex on the black link, a few OG things like book a flight straight to Jamrock Place. Let me tell you where I'm from. Some call it ghetto, some call it slum. No people now no income. Even like no food when I come. Let me tell you where I'm from. The days them shots and the night them long. Soupy and it's for the next pong pong. They gon' make him $1, they gon' feed son. Nothing extra and no more. That's how we live in the ghetto. Zinc fences, board houses, stage shows in the ghetto. Shopkeepers, hairdressers, we self-employed in the ghetto. Tie with morals, till we value. Of that we not let go. Where I'm from is where you are. Each day we rise, look into the sky. Searching for better no matter the weather. It's hard in the ghetto with no one to turn to. Rain or shine, I beg a dime. I work for mine, provide for the youth. Teach them right, show them the truth. We're black in our roots. Nothing extra and to more. That's how we live in the ghetto.
28 minutes to the top of the hour, 28 minutes before we get out of here. We're into the segment that we call the musical therapy, if you haven't realized. And it's brought to you courtesy of the Wake Up and Live show. Sir Rockwell kicks off the Wake Up and Live show 7 a.m. tomorrow. I'll be sure to join him, yeah?
New version to rock the nation. Coming your way.
This is the sound of G-Mac.
You're gonna lose. Things you said you love. You're gonna lose. Can't last too long the way you are shaking. Can't last too long the way you're vibrating. Lose. You're gonna lose. Things you said you love. You're gonna lose. Can't last too long the way you are flirting. Can't last too long the things you are doing. That's why I say lose. You're gonna lose. Things you said you love. You're gonna lose. You can't last too long the way you are flirting. You can't last too long the things you are doing. That's why I say lose. You're gonna lose. Things you said you love. You're gonna lose. Can't last too long the way you are shaking. Can't last too long the way you're vibrating. That's why I say do, 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 do.
Girl, you got the moves, you got the juice, you got the flavor, got the sauce on, yeah. Anywhere you wanna go, just say the word and you know I'ma take you there.
Well, you know, Happy,
You need somebody to remind you.
I don't think what you did was cause controversy. I think you have created or provoked a lot of thought.
Change your life.
And I thank you for that.
And I will chase the skies.
That is true. I won't be back here in this capacity until next year.
I will be your king forever.
Hashtag happy. Appreciate love everything that you have done in this past year with and for me.
Your king forever. Oh yeah. Girl, you got the move.
And I pray that you are here to continue this journey with me in the new year.
Say the word and you know I'ma take you there. Oh yeah.
As we continue to blaze trails, yeah?
Lost, I'll find you. Oh,
I'm not blazing any trail without you.
If you want to, you can be my queen, and I will be your king forever. Yeah. If you want to, you can be my queen, and I will be your king forever.
Somebody and pick. I mean she want it
The sound of Bingy Blaze.
When we touch it's like rain and fall. I mean she
It's called Rasta Touch.
a Rasta she want, we touch her. Yeah. So I touch her in the morning, touch her in the evening. Good loving from the Rasta man she receiving.
22 minutes to the top of the hour.
She no deceiving. She a blind.
So you know what?
Movie is fine, dinner is fine, but right now she need to.
I should be doing something for the new year.
She tell me say a touching time. So my come
Stay tuned to social media to know what is happening when it's happening.
want fi touch her. So my boy
Let's see what I do to close out this year.
but I mean she want fi touch her. When we touch it's like rain and fall. I mean she want fi touch her. A Rasta she want fi touch her. Blind, she feel like she wanna fly.
I want to thank each and every one of you listeners for sticking around on this journey with me also.
Oh me, oh my, oh me, oh my.
The ones that are there in the quiet.
And text stimulate our mind, body, soul, intellect. Take her to some
much respect.
Never been yet. Seen some things that she never seen yet. She said me want you bingy trust me. She said me need you bingy touch me. She said me want you bingy trust me. She said me need you bingy touch me. Some a come bring house and money and vehicle. Now me she want fi touch her. Some a buy her fancy things and take her anywhere. But a me she want fi touch her. When we touch it's like rain and fall. And me she want fi touch her. A Rasta she want fi touch her. Well then hear me now. What yo, she on the food pan plate. Now bend down low, she want elevate. Blah 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 and them not penetrate. Now the Rasta pass you and she start celebrate. See what you're seeing and do what you're doing. Girl, she's got something, hey, hey. That money can buy. Some a come with house and money and vehicle. But I mean she want to touch her. Some a buy her fancy things and take her on the world. But I mean she want to touch her.
If you're full of hotness, me I beg you that she all go. When good up, did I give a girl they take them on the front line? With your big broad hips and small sexy waistline.
The zone of Honorable.
Look on her body.
The track is called Lots of Love.
That girl they look good, that girl they look good. Watch how she look at, watch how she look at. Look on her body.
Look on her what?
Watch how she wind up, watch how she wind up. That girl they look good, that girl they look good. Watch how she look.
So if she look good, what do you do?
For the piggy yard, that's a
What?
That's a love, love, be sure. That's a
The last musical therapy on the night shift for 2018.
Shine brighter than the brightest bulb. Your body tight like the tightest glove. And you think turn up louder than the hypest clubs. No man no want check for them legal. Them like don't quick to ride in a vehicle. If some of them are show you, I want thing you get from the majority. I look on her body, look on her body. Watch how she wind up, watch how she wind up. That girl they look good, that girl they look good. Watch how she look at, watch how she look at. Look on her body, look on her body. Watch how she wind up, watch how she wind up. That girl they look good, that girl they look good. Watch how she look at, watch how she act for the figure. That's a lot, that's a lot, that's a lot. That's a lot, love, to be sure. That's a lot, that's a love. That's a lot, love, to figure. That's a lot, that's a love. That's a lot, love, to be sure. That's a lot, that's a love. That's a lot, love. Every girl that the place if you look good, walk home. If you're full of hotness, me I beg you that she all go.
And it's all about DJ Kevin Stew on the night shift. You feel for some stew? Check out Kevin Stew.
Thank you, Joanna. The son of Joanna Marie.
Once is never enough with a man like you.
From the album Simply Irresistible.
One more time, I can never get enough with a man like you. Oh, hits me like you just did. Oh, baby, you look to me once again. Pass up on me one more time. Once is never enough for my heart to hear. Say it to me one more time. I can never get enough with a man like you. Sweet me like you just did. Baby, do that to me once again. Bring it back home to me. Ooh, yeah, baby. I walked alone that time.
Oh, Kevin, you're so good. Music just turns me on.
I knew you were wrong, but two wrongs don't make.
She sounds so nice, we have to play her twice.
We had was too strong to give up without a fight. I didn't want to let you go.
On the Dancing Time album, courtesy of Working Class Music.
Missing you now, as
This is Joanna Marie.
missing me.
Double play from her.
I want it back.
This is called Bring It Back.
Had before. Now that we realize understanding is the key. Bring back that love and faith. Bring it back. I want you. Bring it back home to me. Bring back that love and home to me. Come drive me. Bring it back home to me. Bring back that love and faith. Bring it back just like you. Bring it back home to me. Bring it back home to me. Bring it back, baby. I can hardly wait to see you. I'm getting anxious already. My heart, my soul, my mind knows this love is one of a kind. My body yearns for you. I'm missing you strong and praise. The ecstasy that awaits us have me already nervous. I didn't want to let you go. I really want you to know I'm missing you now as much as you're missing me. I want it back, even better than what we had before. Now that we realize understanding is the key. So bring back that love and faith. Bring it back, I want you. Bring it back home to me. Bring back that love and home to me. Come drive me. Bring it back home to me. Bring back that love and faith. Bring it back just like you. Bring it back home to me. Bring it back home to me. Bring it back, baby.
Why does she play these games? She makes herself insane, feeling like a picture in a frame. Trapped, conquered, unloved, not knowing where to go. Why is she so lost? Jah granted her with strength and love to spread and share everywhere. Jah gave her peace
a woman supposed to do? When the world gone mad confused, she have to pick herself up, dust her clothes off, and get on the move.
It is a woman's worth
that shines so bright.
It is a woman's worth
and spreads her light.
It is a woman. It is a woman. It is a woman's worth.
Yeah. Jana, she's giving everything of herself and don't know what's in return. Truth is her way. You know she's got to elevate. Jah granted her with strength and love to spread and share everywhere. Jah gave her peace and harmony so she could be free.
What's a woman supposed to do? When the world gone mad confused, she have to pick herself up, dust her clothes off, and get on the move.
It is a woman's worth. It is a woman's worth. It is a woman. It is a woman. It is a woman's worth.
Smiling gently, I look at you, thinking out all my dreams came through. There's nothing in red
The son of Tamara B.
than spending each moment.
A track called Crown Me.
I hope you build a
Before that, we heard from Wild Tree, Woman's Worth.
the way got rough along the way.
10 minutes to go.
Yet you were
10 minutes before we close out the night shift for the last time
like a king with a master.
in 2018.
Crown me, baby. In your castle I will be your queen anytime. Crown me, baby. In your castle I will be your queen.
Supporting vocals by her husband, lead singer for Third World, AJ Brown.
That's the love that you give to me. Even when the tide gets high, I'll never leave your side. Even through thick and thin, you'll always be my king.
Once again, I want to thank you all for tuning in tonight and all the other nights
Your love
in 2018. And I want to encourage you, as always, look out for members of your community. And the members of your community are not just people that live in the development that you live in, but spread far and wide. And those that you pass on the bus, on the plane, on the boat, on the train, these are members of your community. So do something good for one of them today, whether you walk, ride, or drive, because you never know which one of them is going to do something good for you tomorrow. My name is DJ Kevin Stew. This has been a night shift. So I like to do it to you, for you, and with you. Looking for bigger and better things in 2019. Encouraging you to join me on the journey.
Baby, when I'm older,
And if you've been on it, to continue with me.
oh, love will remain the same. You always
And as I get out of here,
when I feel like crying, baby,
I want to encourage you to be good. But if you can't be good,
want to be a king.
go ahead and be good at it.
I'm happy that you chose me, baby. Now we can raise our precious ransom. Crown me, baby. In your castle I will be your queen anytime. Crown me, baby. In your castle I will be your yeah.
Well, let me tell you
love of my
Listen, this is Corey.
I met this girl last summer, had the prettiest thing, beautiful smile with the prettiest skin. She was looking for a place to vacation. Me say my home is a great destination. I said, would you agree to take that vacation with someone like me? I know the perfect place you can be free, baby. Let's do it in Jamaica, where the summer sun is always shining, happy people always smiling. You'll see. Let's do it in Jamaica, the nicest place to get away, and we have summer every day. Trust me. Let's do it in Jamaica.
That's the title of the track.
Miss Baby, feel free to get wild and crazy, or just relax and be lazy. She's me say whatever you want, whatever you need, it's alright with me. Even if you want to try on the trees, baby. Let's do it in Jamaica, where the summer sun is always shining, happy people always smiling. You'll see. Let's do it in Jamaica, perfect place to get away, and we have summer every day. Trust me. Let's do it in Jamaica. If you feel like party with me, let me make it real easy. You just need to get up and shake off your troubles and smile with me. Relax for a while with me, enjoy the island breeze, baby. Let's do it in Jamaica, where the summer sun is always shining, happy people always smiling. You'll see. Let's do it in Jamaica, the nicest place to get away, and we have summer every day. Trust me. Let's do it in Jamaica. The question and answer still no answer. The invite is open, the tickets on me. So let me ask you what you can put you up to take that vacation with someone like me. I know the perfect place you can be free, baby. Come with me to Jamaica, where the summer sun is always shining, happy people always smiling. Let's do it in Jamaica, the nicest place to get away, and we have summer every day. Trust me.
God alone, only God alone. Always on my back with them, me down a dip on top. God alone, only God alone. Always on my back with them, me down a dip on top. Many times I'm locked away like me in a jail, push aside by me own cause them want me feel. But by the blood of Jesus, yes, me must prevail. Come a servant.
This is the Saint.
Great, no, no can't stop my destiny, cause greater
Track is called God Alone.
me. So me have to sail for this year, come me arise with a militant praise. God alone, only God alone. Always on my back with them, me down a dip on top. God alone, only God alone. Always on my back with them, me down a dip on top. Smiling on my face, then stop me in on my back. But I find every spirit, such as the scribes and Pharisees,
This is how I bounce out of here tonight. It's on a Dale Brown and Truth. All I need. Catch you all next year, 2019. Brand new things.
Those nights I've spent alone. I remember, yes, I remember, yeah. You're all I need. Those times are straight from
Yep, first show of 2019 next Wednesday. All being well. If not,
I remember when my day.
It's the 7th.
I remember, yes, I remember, yeah. I couldn't find nobody else but you, Lord. Yeah. Never have nowhere else to go.
I remember, yes, I remember, yeah.
Father God, you alone could have seen me through. Though sometimes I lose my way.
Lose my way.
You're all I need. Sometimes my friend them.
Y'all take care of yourselves. Be safe as we close out this year. Because I want to see each and every one of you back in the new year. Take care. Be blessed.
You're all I need. Say oh, 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 you're all I need. Say don't give up, don't give it up.
The moment is priceless. Consider the ability to share that moment. If you can video it, you can broadcast it. And Pulse E-Media Group has the tools you need. Weddings, birthdays, funerals, graduations, church services, parties, seminars, you name it. Pulse E-Media Group can provide you with a secure medium controlled by you to broadcast your event. Contact us at www.pulseemediagroup.com for more information. Pulse E-Media Group, when being in the moment is priceless.